Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
The federal government has been urged to immediately commence the legal process of depriving state governors the responsibility to control and manage the 13% oil derivation funds accruing to oil-producing states in the collective interest of oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta. The demand was made by stakeholders at the recent fourth meeting of the National Council on Niger Delta in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Correspondent Chika Bodozie completes the story.
Utilization of the statutory 13% oil derivation funds by state governments in the Niger Delta was one of the disturbing issues considered by participants at the recent fourth meeting of the National Council on Niger Delta. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang, had blamed persistent poverty and insecurity in oil-producing communities on misappropriation of 13% derivation funds.
The relocation of the oil companies to the oil-producing communities is in the hand of the governors, because it is the governors that have collected the derivation money, which was intended to use in developing the oil-producing communities. And if you do not develop the oil-producing communities, you put the oil companies in danger of coming to those communities, because there is tension and there will be attack and they are insecure. Therefore, the only thing that the governors can do and we can do to get the oil companies to relocate is for the governors to apply the derivation money for the development of the oil-producing communities.
13% oil derivation principle was introduced in 2000 by the government of President Olusegun Obasanjo to mitigate negative impacts of hydrocarbon pollution on the environment and well-being of oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta. It was also conceived to address crumbling infrastructure in the largely backward communities that have continued to wallow in deprivation. Their pitiable condition was blamed on the skewed development policies of state governments in the Niger Delta.
You can see the remote part, the creeks. That's where the funds are coming from, not from the city. And this development is not going that. For example, in River State, communities in the down areas, we are looking for how they can be having access roads, good road to use, schools and a good water hospital to be there. But it's not that all is being circled down in the city Port Harcourt. If you go to Bayelsa, everything is centered in what? In Yenagoa. But the funding questions are coming from the creeks, where the communities where the oil is a bit derived from. Even not in total, part of these funds should be made available for communities. Is a call, a clarion call, so that the communities will not feel that yes, they have a fair share of this 13%. But total abstinence is, I think, is not good, and that is one of the things that causes agitation.
The probe into the application of oil derivation funds coincides with renewed demands for an upward review of the current 13% benchmark by state governors in the Niger Delta. For reasons adduced to mismanagement of funds meant to ameliorate the sufferings of oil-producing communities, the federal government has been advised not to accede to such demands.
In the South-South region, for instance, studies confirm that in the past, between 2000 and 2018, the South-South states have received from federal allocation a total of 9.5 trillion for the region's development. In addition, that in the past 3 years, from 2020 to 19-18, oil companies have given a total of 295 billion to the Niger Delta, approximately 100 billion a year. We have not seen the impact.
They will use the money to campaign, about the money for politics. How would the community develop when money that's meant for them is not reaching them? This money belongs to the community. It's not for the state. It's not part of their allocation. The money just passed through the state government to the oil-producing communities. We have to have got this oil-producing community development commission at the local level.
When in 2000, the President Obasanjo administration introduced the 13% derivation principle It was born out of the need for rapid development of oil-producing communities. However, the management and control of such funds were vested in state governments as provided in Section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. Based on this constitutional provision, those pushing for direct transfer of 13% derivation funds to oil-producing communities will definitely have some legal issues to contend with in their campaign for social justice.
If we overcome the constitutional impediment as today are, we will be able to have the money that are meant for the oil-producing communities go to them directly. And that is what is being addressed in the proposed petroleum industry bill.
It is the considered opinion of Niger Deltans agitating for direct payment of 13% derivation funds to oil-producing communities that the challenge of developing their region has more to do with poor resource governance than inadequate allocations from the Federation account.
Inside the Niger Delta,